Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina, your host, and it's just me today because I wanted to have a pretty good conversation with Long Beach Carlos. How are you?
Good in yourself?
Pretty good. Hi, Solomon.
Hi, I was wondering if I was going to get mentioned in here somewhere.
Nah, you're gonna get bumped out today.
I know, huh? Hey, Carlos, how you doing? Welcome back, man.
Thank you. How
I
you
know.
doing?
I've heard he's quite the guy. This couch is familiar with him, huh?
Wait, you said
in a
that?
good way, not
Yeah, I
in a
was
bad
gonna
way.
Wait, you know what? I say things and I don't realize how they sound. What I meant was, you've been here before on other podcasts.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So you're familiar with Solomon's studio. How's that?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. So how is your first of the year going? Let's get that going.
You know what? It's going good. I can't complain.
Really? Everything's good? Had a
Yeah.
good holiday and
So
everything like
far,
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So far.
Nice. We're gonna see what this new president brings. I've
It just says coffee and chaos.
Oh, it's you know what? It's and I'm not a very political thing. I don't discuss politics on here, but the only thing that's broken my heart so far this year is our people getting taken away, you know, our field workers. That's the thing that hurts me the most. Like, go after the criminals, but leave my strawberry pickers alone.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
leave them people. Them people are some. I don't care. No American is gonna go do what they're doing.
No, definitely.
Plain and simple.
I'm not.
I'm not. I mean, that shit'll hurt my back. Like, my uncle, who I have to give him credit because my aunt married this Caucasian man from up north. We always make fun of him because he's done really well for himself, right? Oh, you don't know what hard work is. Oh, you've always had everything handed to you. That's our perception of my Uncle Eric, right? So my Uncle Eric says, sit your little ass down. He paid his whole way through Chico. And one summer, he had to go pick fruit with the Mexicans. And he says, I will never do that shit again. It was the hardest working summer ever. And he was misled. They told him, oh, you're going to make all kinds of money. You'll make a bunch of money. You'll be able to pay your tuition. Well, what he didn't know was the money's based off how many buckets. Yes. So he made some money, but he didn't make money like they made money.
Right.
So no American is going to want those jobs. But
No, definitely.
I'm hoping that all gets a little bit better.
Well, I mean, it's a trip because they are, like how you said, they're going after people that are just here to work. When they're looking for the criminals, they're the ones busted, right? Filling up the jails.
Yes,
You know?
and I'm
why don't you just go get them fools
and is
take
it
them back?
But and I feel like this is my theory on that. If you're from another country other than Mexico, you don't get deported because why? It costs to put you on a plane. Mexico, we just put you on a bus and you're right there. And they're not even Mexicans that they're leaving in Mexican. They're all Salvadorians. They're all these, Venezuelans. Everybody. And they're not taking them all the way back to their countries. They're just saying, oh, here you go.
Plus, too, they're not going to take them out of jails because they need those bodies in there for that money. They keep them
all their
filled.
Private jails.
Yeah,
okay, that's a whole. We could be here all day talking about that. That thing is,
But I'm just saying that's why they won't go in there. That's why they're only hitting the streets.
And in California, and Solomon and I remember we talked about this real quick, and you didn't think I knew what I was talking about.
What?
If you go to the jails in California, and I'm not talking anywhere else out of California. Between white, blacks, and Mexicans, who do you think are the most people in the jails?
Oh, yeah.
Mexican.
Browns. Yep. And he was like, no, there's more black. And I was like, nope, there are more browns.
Yeah. At least in California.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, just in California. Okay, so Carlos, tell me a little about you. What do you got going on these days?
Me, my show, I don't call it a podcast. I call it a show, the Bootleg Show, or the Nightcap Bootleg Show.
So when I hear bootleg, I'm thinking a whole lot of bad stuff.
Nah.
Whole lot of partying, a whole lot of drinking.
Well, you know what? Okay, then yeah. So that's what it was. That's what it used to be on the Instagram Live. We used to party. Well, I guess I did. When I used to do my lives and people were watching. So it was a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking, a lot of. But music though, a lot of
music because that's your main focus is music, right?
Yeah, that was the main focus was the music. Always making sure I play music.
And you're Long Beach Carlos because you're from Long Beach, California.
Yeah, that and PJ Butter named me that on KD.
Really?
Yeah, PJ Butter.
Was that his easier way of just knowing who you were? This is Long Beach from Carlos.
Well, he knew who I was because I was a frequent caller.
On
his show. Mm-hmm. So we, well, you know what? If I'm gonna talk about KD, I'm gonna just take it to the beginning real quick. Shout out DJ Dents. That's the LA Clippers official DJ. I met him. I was touring doing AAA, and it was like 3 in the morning, and he was there, broken down, changing. He needed a tire change. And I went to change his tire, and he was pulling out the stuff out of his van. There were a lot of DJ equipment and plaques, like
Oh,
record, music
yeah.
plaques. And looked at this, was like, "Hey, homie, like, what do you do?" "Oh, I'm a DJ for K Day." And I was like, "Oh, and that's back then when K Day was just coming back. Remember,
Yeah.
it was just they were just bringing it back.
Who was the guy at night that all the girls loved on Katie? I forgot his name with the voice.
No, you might be
Oh,
thinking.
you're talking about Theo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't on K Day?
No, he was
No.
on the beat.
Oh, on the beat he was. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
go
was
on.
Theo
Okay,
and
so
shit. He was
yeah.
the Asian dude.
Yeah, that everybody thought was black and he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I helped him out, and he invited me into the studio one day to do a video. And then he would tell me to call in, and I would. And then that's where the relationship grew between me and him. And then I did the same thing with PJ and CC and Romeo
Yeah.
and Tattoo in the
Yeah.
mornings and stuff. And so I've known them for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, but me and PJ really became good friends.
Mhm.
Like good friends.
And he's the one that named you Long Beach
He
Carlos?
named me Long Beach Carlos. Yeah,
And it just stuck?
it just stuck. Yeah, so I would be on commercials on there.
Oh,
Do his
nice.
help him do his commercials
Yeah.
for Big Al and for other stuff.
Yeah. So you're Urban Soul.
Urban Soul TV.
Now that you don't do the Instagram live and now you do that, do you bring people on, like music people? And
Yeah. So that was always the how you say it, the point when I did my lives. After playing music, I would play music that was from the area.
Mhm.
Then I would invite them on to do a live, and I would interview them.
So you're like basically like trying to promote these guys
Yeah.
and produce a lot of this music going out and stuff like
Yeah.
these people that nobody's heard of.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that mainly what you have on there?
Yeah.
Do you have guys and girls?
Yeah, anybody could come on my show as long as you're out there just doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna have you just because.
Yeah.
But
And what is your in music? Because it's changed so much. What is your favorite era of music?
90s. I grew up in.
Mhm.
Gonna be 49 years old, so
Do you feel like the music today has changed so much from, like, if you go back and listen to like Tupac and all that, he spoke about something. It was something we could all relate to, whether it was bad parenting, whether it was coming from nothing or having nothing and trying to be better. And then you fast forward to today. One, I can't understand half the people when they rap. And it's not about there. I don't feel like there's any heart and soul in the rap anymore today. Like I'll hear a good beat and I'll listen to the song because I like the beat, but I don't even like the words.
yeah.
But I feel like it's more about trapping and girls booty popping and
It's more about the if factor. What's trending.
Mhm.
What social media says is cool. Is whether it's a dance or some dumb shit that you don't even understand. It's
Do
like
you ever have people that come on and you're like, this guy's probably gonna make it, even though I don't like it, but
there is people still making good music though. It's just we don't pay attention because we're programmed to listening to what's on the radio.
so I don't even listen to the radio anymore. I listen to like music that I have downloaded like on my phone or
And that's your playlist, which is back in the 90s,
Yes.
oldies and funk and all that. Right?
yes.
Okay.
Like
so-
oldies and like I'm going to a wedding next weekend and I have to ask like what type of music because it's an Asian wedding, what type of music are you guys gonna play? And they're like, oh, like techno, and I'm like, oh dear God, I'm not dancing to that. Like I said, there's no oldies, no
Just take some glow
funk.
sticks. Just take some glow sticks. It'll be good.
And they're all hyped about this music. And I'm like, so I have two kids, a 34-year-old and I had her at 16. So she grew up with me. So she's all R&B 90s. And then I have a 24-year-old who thinks that we're weird. Like he came in the house one day mad at 12 years old. What is wrong with your daughter? She just listens to sex music. And he got all mad. And I was like, what? She walks in laughing and she was listening to I don't know if it was Mario or Tyrese or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some song. And he doesn't like that music. Doesn't grow up with that music. He doesn't like, they have
What
such
does
a,
he listen to?
he listens to, he's going to kill me right now. More Green Day.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So he does listen to
Like, he
back
listens
in the
to-
day music, but
Yes.
it's rock and stuff like
he
that.
very much so. He has he's gonna kill me right now. He has 2 tattoos on his stomach. One's a horse, but it's just the outline of a horse that was on a music album.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one he has how can I not think of the name? It's a very popular It's like a skeleton with a
Grateful Dead.
no, he has the martini drinks in his hand, and he's like, I'll think of it as we're talking. So he grew up half the time in Huntington Beach with his dad.
Okay,
So he kind of liked his
that's
music.
his music.
Yes, over our music. Sometimes, and then he listens to like the rap today, like he doesn't like Drake. Who's the one has a kid from the Kardashian? Uh One of those rappers he likes. I don't know who it is.
Oh, ASAP Rocky. Right now, ASAP Rocky.
No, ASAP Rocky has a kid with Rihanna. Yeah. But one of those, so he listens to a little bit of rap, but our old school, like
You don't like it?
No, he doesn't like Biggie. He doesn't like Tupac. He makes fun of Tupac. He's like, Tupac went to some like theatrical school. And I'm like, yeah, but he's educated rapper.
Right. He could tell you some poetry shit.
Yeah. But again, that music back then meant something.
Yeah.
The music today, I feel like, and then the girls like Cardi B and the Stallion girl. What's her name?
I don't care for them and shit.
You are so degrading of yourself. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't listen to it.
But when we were growing up, we were listening to the same shit. It was just formatted different.
So I think back, like I listened to Foxy Brown, like
Little Kim.
Yes, and I'm like, oh, they were bad too.
I mean, Two Live Crew.
Yeah, but we were young, and so I guess we didn't really.
Yeah, I mean, we did the same thing. It's just us as we're older now. We're listening to what the lyrics are saying, and now we're like, what the? Don't be saying that.
Yes, but is it because we're okay? Real quick, social distortion. I don't know how I forgot that. So that's what my son,
social distortion.
And that's what he has tattooed literally on his stomach. So in my house, I listen to Steve Miller Band.
It looks like a bar logo or a bottle of like tequila logo.
Yeah, and his tattoo's really good. Whoever did it, like it's. So the kids grew up listening to Steve Miller Band, Aerosmith, but then I'd put on Tupac, but then I'd put on Evelyn Champagne, and then I'd put on oldies. Right? I listened to everything. So there's a joke that in the projects, I had this little Civic and everybody knew it was me because I'd be coming around the corner listening to Gwen Stefani. If it was another girl, they'd have on like oldies, right? They're like, oh, here comes Alina. Here comes her white girl music. So the kids grew up listening to everything. So that's what it was with social distortion.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but back to what we were saying, I loved Little Kim. I loved Foxy Brown, but I listen to it now and I'm like, oh God, we were listening to that at our age. Like
you're still jamming to it though.
Yes, but now when I hear the music today, like
it's more. They add more to it.
Like Cardi B's song is just blunt.
Yeah,
it's just
Cardi B's gonna tell you lick her asshole and shit, and Little Kim won't tell you that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But Little Kim made it sound.
But she didn't. She wouldn't be so specific.
Yes. You know same thing with Foxy Brown.
Cardi B will tell you that shit. Little Kim and Foxy Brown and all those girls, Queen Latifah, they wouldn't tell you like straight out. They'll
left a little bit of your imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
Left you thinking a little bit. I think I heard one song and I was like, I asked my friend Kathy, I was like, wait, what does that actually mean? And then I was like, oh, like, and like, you're right. Now they're just like, here it is on the table.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're teaching.
They're worse than men.
Yes. And so how do you expect a man to respect you if you don't respect yourself? Yeah. And for us to try to raise these younger generation of girls now, how do you do that? Like with that music coming out, I'm just like, I'm going to go back to my Evelyn Champagne. Like that music's softer, easier. But even some of those songs, there was one of them. Someone said if you really went back and listened to like what Rick James was saying,
exactly.
Some of that stuff was not good either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just we just didn't really pay attention to what it's saying till now.
Well,
now we pay attention.
And our parents were listening to a lot of that stuff, right? Yeah. So we grew up listening to what they were listening to, and we just thought it was cool because we were listening to our parents' music. And then later you look. Yeah, probably should have been listening to that either. Right. Who would be like one of your favorite popular artists that is out now?
That's out now? Like popular?
Mm-hmm. That people would know of if we...
That's out now. I'll tell you the truth. I don't listen to music that's really like pop, like on the radio. I don't listen to
Yeah, me either.
To me, it's just... I don't know. Junk.
Like there's like a big beef.
And no disrespect, but it's just like I don't know. I just don't find it. It's just not my cup of tea.
And do you think it is back to our culture and in the 90s we listened to certain
the music? No, it's just the music sucks now. Like let's just be honest. The music really sucks. You don't understand it. They're just saying some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And even the videos at least back then, the videos told the story of the song.
Yes.
Now you're just looking at videos and it's just a bunch of money throwing, guns,
and girls
ass
shaking
shaking.
their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dudes doing fucking donuts and burnouts and shit.
And it's usually the guys that are doing the money and the guns. In real life, they weren't doing money and guns.
Because we had people that raised us right, and I think that's the problem with this generation now. They have nobody to raise them. You know, we were raised by OGs. You know what I'm saying? By people that iron their clothes, make sure they look nice, shine their shoes up, you know, smell good, talk and showed respect, you know? Now, at least back in the days, if you were walking with your girl or your mom or somebody, and somebody seen you that you didn't get along with, they'll catch you later.
Yeah.
You know, they'll still be like, "What's up? I got you later."
Yes.
And keep it pushing. Now,
yes.
man, they're quick to just jump on you, shoot you in front of anybody. It don't matter how many cameras are in front.
But why do you? So so there's two things we're going to talk about. So let's go back to the clothes thing. I have an issue with that. My thing is, even with my son who's 24, my daughter is very old school. So I always call her an old black man. Her shoes matches her shirt. Her belt matches her pants. She's very ironed. Everything's clean, right? Yes. But again, she was raised by me and the people around me in that generation. And my boyfriend that got killed had a solid 3 years with her. So she's all tatted. And even my son's like, "Mom," I said, "Boy, you don't know the life we had before you. You don't know what mom was doing before you." My son, he'll come in the living room with some shorts and just a t-shirt. Pa, what are you doing? Like, that got to be ironed. Why? Nobody cares. I said, "Listen, you are a reflection of us when you leave the house."
Not only that, you're a reflection of yourself.
So when you leave, you have your own style because they each have their own style, right? But that will be cleaned and that will be ironed. And that is my only rule in this house. Like, and kind of, I don't like them to wear all black because we're not like mourning somebody, you know? So, and he likes to wear all black. So
that's what I wear, black and blue.
Yeah. So, well, I got to the point where I'm like, as long as it's ironed and it looks good, and I'm really hard on that. And now he's like that. But why can't I just walk out the house like that? Because that's not what we do. You see these kids in pajamas in school. I'm like, but do you think that our generation didn't have a lot? So we cherished what we had and we wanted to show, we didn't want to look poor or look broke when we were poor or broke. Where today, these kids want to look poor and they want to look broke and they think it's cool.
They want to be from the hood.
And I'm like, no, no. That block cheese, that milk in a carton, that's real broke. No, we're not trying to go there.
Right.
I'm like, I will starve before I ever have milk in a box again.
I don't understand. Like, to me, like, I iron.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I have starch. I make sure I have my starch, my iron, my fucking rag that I iron on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I used to get
mad. My shoes are clean. You know, that's the way.
Did you have Stacey Adams and Hush Puppies?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just I have to represent. You have to represent yourself right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing something like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Shit, you can't be looking like a dirtbag.
Well, people tease me because I come on here in like sweats or leggings, but I mean, I'm clean. I'm not a girly girl.
But you're done up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And so sometimes
you're comfortable.
Yeah, they're like,
trust me, if I could, I'd come in sweats too and shit. But that's just not me.
Yeah.
Shit, you know?
Well, I just feel like I'm sitting here and I want you to be comfortable. And the only way I'm gonna feel comfortable is if I'm more of a tomboyish. So if I dress comfortable, then I'm hoping I'm making you feel comfortable. But everything's still clean and ironed. And we grew up with my mom. I was mad at her for a lot of years because she used to make me iron her clothes before work. But now I get it. Like, she was getting up and she was going to work, so I had to get up and I had to iron her clothes. But now I'm just like me. I iron. If it needs to be ironed, it's getting ironed. I'm not just walking out of the house like that.
Yeah, my mom made us iron her shit too. She was working for the hospital, so we had to iron her scrubs.
Oh, so I wasn't the only one?
Yeah. But
Mom?
there was 4 of us that would do it. Me and my brothers would do it. So we had to take turns doing it.
Just me. Because I was the girl.
We have a sister, but she's the baby, so she don't do shit.
Oh, she's lucky.
Yeah.
So did she cook?
Yeah. My mom taught her all that. You know what I'm saying? But she's younger than me. She's younger than me in my second, because I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So there's 5 of us.
Okay.
My mom and my dad. There's 5 of us.
So your Urban Soul TV, it's an app that you could watch it on, because I was really confused.
Yeah, you could download it on the app.
Just like you could download Netflix, just like you could download Hulu.
Definitely.
It's called Urban
Soul TV.
Okay, and what do they have on there? I know it's not yours, but if I wanted to go on there and find you, I'll find other stuff too.
Yeah, you could find the Crown Peach show. You could find
Mm.
Mac B on there. You could find a DJ show where like has DJs come in and just play music, and I think they talk about what they're doing and all
Yeah.
that. And then they have Lola's talk, I believe, and then he says they have a bunch of shows.
Really?
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's
I'm
just
gonna
an
go.
app that they produce a lot of shows.
And when are you on there?
I'm on there every Wednesday at 9:00.
And is it live, or can I go back and watch like an?
No, you could go back and watch. It's not live.
Okay.
We record Tuesday through Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So we record as many shows as we could get in.
Oh, okay.
We just
And then it just comes out. Okay. So do you have any certain artists you're working with now that you're producing or anything like that, or is it just different people?
No, I'm not even producing no music right now. I'm not.
I heard you wrote a song.
Yeah. Yeah, I had help writing the.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm on a track with JD from the Lynch Mob.
Really?
Yeah.
So I could go on there and listen and hear
Yeah,
it?
you go on there and listen.
Were you nervous when you did it?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. I don't know.
I know. Priscilla told me, she's like, make sure you ask him this. That's kind of, I understand it. Like, even though you're so outgoing and you go and you promote, it's about other people, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to you personally, then you get a little shy.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Like, I like doing the podcast and talking to other
That's
people.
why I got Priscilla to talk for me because she'll just go and talk and say what she has to say, and then she'll be like, "Come here, this is him."
So, what kind of? I know you do a lot of promoting.
Yeah.
So, and you do a lot of stuff in Long Beach. What is your latest things that you're doing right now?
March 8th, I'm having a softball game, Unity in the Community softball game. So come through.
Oh, what do you guys do for that? Like, what do you?
And I just get people together and just so we could just run a softball game.
So that
I
everybody
have a
can-
trophy. Like there's a second one. The
Okay.
first one we played against the Commitment Soldiers.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who
Mm-mm.
Commitment Soldier is.
No.
He's like some dude from Fools Gone Wild.
Oh, okay.
So he put a team together, and I put my
Really?
team together, and
Oh.
I went and got a trophy, MVP trophy.
Yeah.
And I had vendors, I had a DJ, and we played right there at Hudson Park, right there in the West Side,
Okay.
off of Santa Fe.
So, how many teams are in this tournament?
Just one. It's just me because
Oh.
I wanted to have a tournament, but the third one
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a tournament.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
this is just a softball game between you and another team.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so whoever wins this wins the trophy.
Oh,
Because on the trophy it
nice.
has spaces to put plaques. So our plaque is the first, the bootleggers, because it
Yeah.
was the first year we won it.
Okay.
So whoever wins this one will get the
Okay.
plaque put on there.
So you're gonna keep growing it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Oh,
You
nice.
know, just to grow this, and
Yeah.
just so we can have something
Yeah.
to do, and and show the city that we're not just out there fighting each other and acting a fool. We can come together and.
That is the biggest thing. We said that earlier. You have kids from Wilmington and Pedro, and you're a resident of Long Beach. Like, I don't understand how we all fight each other. Like, it's all fun and jokes, and we tease each other about, this and that other thing. But at the end of the day, like, we're Mexican. I don't know why we're not sticking together. Like,
Yeah.
why we're all fighting. And you're all, like, I look at people and I'm like, y'all fighting over land that doesn't even belong to you. Like, what's going on? And too many people, I don't know. In the 90s, it was bad. People think
Yeah.
this is bad now. And I'm like, the 90s, somebody was dying once a week.
Oh yeah.
Like, you had to watch where you were going, be careful where you were at, because drive-bys or people just coming up,
But they were fun though. Those
They-
times were fun. I can't complain.
There was a party they had, Wilmington and Pedro. Like, remember what were they called? Where they tried to get them together so that they could get along.
the what's it called, peace treaty.
The peace treaty. So
Well, I had a peace treaty party.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did that go?
That shit went pretty dope.
Did it?
Yeah, it was the first peace treaty party that was thrown.
Back in
Like 90, when the peace treaty came out.
so
when the peace treaty
Yeah.
first came out
Yeah.
and all that shit stopped. Yeah, we were the first ones to throw it at my house right there. And,
really.
yeah.
I gotta have my sister come on and talk to him. My sister has to come on and talk to you.
Hmm.
But there was a peace treaty party for Wilmington and Pedro in San Pedro. And my sister's a thug. I'm kind of a boy kisser, and I'll explain to you what I mean by that. Like,
You were the scammer and the jammer.
So we were
Is that
there.
what you were
yeah.
doing and
So we
shit?
were there, and I was like looking at it, guys. And my sister runs past me. She's like, "Go now! They're gonna start shooting, fight." And I was like, yeah, but look at all these guys. Like, what are we doing, right? So she's run past me, half dragging me. And I go outside and these two guys are just chunking them. They're just going at it. I'm like, ooh, that guy's cute, right? Well, then guns start shooting. We start decking. I'm still trying to look at the guy fighting. Well, that ends up being the guy fighting and beating up the guy. Ends up my boyfriend for the next 3 years. I was like, I want him. So that peace treaty went out the window. So then it was bad after that. But I remember they had them back then and they tried. Some were good. Some just couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were bad. But the 90s, I feel like with the music, with the gangs, with all the violence was way worse than. And these kids, I feel like today have it so much easier and better than we did. There's so many opportunities. Like kids try to say like, oh, we're poor, we're broke. But you got an Apple phone. Some of us didn't even have pagers till like the very end, like I didn't get a pager as soon as pagers came out. Not right away. I mean, eventually got one. And then, all the codes you use on the pager and the stuff like that. But I didn't have one right away. So now I'm looking at these kids like, you guys walk around like you're poor. You have an Apple phone. Like they have so much more opportunity, I feel like, than we did in the 90s.
Yeah, definitely they do. They didn't have to walk to a payphone, Talking about call back the number,
We'd call the project. Who's down there? Okay. Is Javier down there? They're like, yep. And he's talking to a girl. Oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes. They had the 3 payphones and then it went to 2 and then it just 1 and then.
But those payphones you were able to call back though.
Yes.
So you sit there, just stand there for a long time, just bullshitting, Yeah.
Because some people didn't have phones in their house.
Yeah.
And people didn't realize that.
Or you had to wait for a certain time to use the phone and shit,
So that was like, it's just different. And I think the music contributed to the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Whereas today, I still feel the music contributes to the lifestyle, but that's like, you have like Drake crying about this, that, and the other thing. And I guess he's in some beef with some other rapper. And I had to ask my kids. And I'm like,
it's amazing you don't know the name. It's amazing. Absolutely.
Who is the other guy? Oh, Kendrick Lamar, right? Yeah, there you go. I'm not
amazing.
And I like a few of Kendrick's songs, don't get me wrong. But the way that the story was told to me, so correct me, is Drake said some pretty bad things about him.
About his wife and his his kids.
And Kendrick kind of let it slide and then kind of went back. And then Kendrick just came out and blew him out the water. And then he was like, I'm going to sue you. You went too far.
Yeah, he's going to.
That's
the
basics,
story that he's suing him.
And I'm like, wait, what? Like, you are offended? Like, I guess it's 2025, right? People have feelings these days.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
well, people had feelings back then. It's just we sucked them away.
We did.
You sucked them away. You use those feelings for something else.
Yes, we all had feelings, right? We all got our feelings hurt. We all got broken up with. We all cried over somebody, right? We were all made a fool. Like, but life still went on. Yeah. And so the fact that Drake is suing him because he felt like he took it too far, but like you said, in the olden days, if they saw you with a wife or your mom, they looked the other way, right?
Yeah.
But Drake, you talked about his wife and kid. I thought someone said he called Kendrick like a wife beater or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so you brought it out. You started it.
Yeah.
And now you can't
Yeah.
I mean, and Tupac did the same thing. He said what he said about Biggie's wife. And Biggie didn't go sue him.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was just different times. People are built different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he wrote that song, I effed your wife.
Yeah, now, but like how you were saying, like Drake, like now you hear rappers crying on music. You didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. No.
The closest you got to was LL Cool J, but he wasn't crying. He was serenading females.
Yes.
And the only time, like, you went and cried on the music was you played oldies and shit. You got your heart broken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't put on rap and like, oh, fucking Drake, you're right. Like.
Lisa cried, but she's a girl and she had a beautiful voice and had beautiful, remember that song, All Cried Out? But it came from a woman. And so it made sense. Even to men, they liked it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a man on there crying.
Exactly.
But men have emotions today.
Yeah, well, see, but back then, like how I said, we tucked them in. And then when we heard music that got our heart broken, it was more like NWA, a bitch is a bitch, or some shit like that, A bitch ain't nothing but a word to me from Too Short, or something, So we're like, fuck that bitch, like shit. The next one, let's go to the next one, Yeah. That's why we're built different.
Yes.
That's why we're built different.
But it's not like that today.
No, now you got grown men painting their nails, holding purses and stuff, wearing dresses,
So on that thing, like I think about that, and it's like, so I go back to my son because I raised him, and because that's the best example I can give you. I've always told my son, like, I'm gonna pop you in the chest one day. Like, you need to get popped in the chest, and he didn't understand what that meant, but it was like, be a effing man. Like, no, like you have emotions, but no. And he was in a race one day, and he was crying because he raced BMX bikes, and I was like, we do not cry. You wait till you get in that car, and then you cry all you want. Now at 24, he's like, oh, we don't cry. Like, my mom taught me, if I cry in the shower, I cry in the car. Like, sometimes I think I'm a little,
pillow.
yeah. Now I think I'm a little too hard because now I'm like, Pa, are you good? I'm good. I'm like, no, like, really, are you good? And he's like, I'm good. I'm like, oh, no. He doesn't.
I gotta wait till I get in the car.
Yeah, but I feel like more and more women that raise boys, as good as we do, we're raising them to be good husbands and good fathers,
But not men.
but not men. We're not.
But again, like I said, that's where I say, like, this generation don't have nobody to raise them, to discipline them. You know, like I had my father, I had my grandfather, my kids had me. You know,
Yeah.
so I hope how I raised my kids, whether it was hard or with love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope they take that and they teach their kids that. You know,
And it doesn't mean we had to beat our kids.
No.
Even though I did beat my kids sometimes.
No,
when
even
they
till
needed,
now,
but
my kids, I don't give a fuck. My kids, 30-something years old, man, they're still fucking scared of me because what I say goes. Like,
yeah, even at 37, right? So I don't know if it's social media. I don't know what it is, but this whole, you're 18, you don't have to listen to your parents, and you can call the cops on your parents. But now look at these kids. These kids don't have any structure. Like, that shit don't fly in my house. My kids don't cuss. My nephew's 30 something and just did 9.5 years in prison. He don't cuss in my house. He's like, oh, I don't cuss in Auntie Lena's house. Like, and he's a grown ass man. He did 9.5 years. So you would think he would come home and say, you ain't gonna tell me.
yeah.
Nope, he don't cuss in my house.
Because we're raised different.
Yes.
With respect.
Yes.
We're taught to have respect for no matter what, no matter where you're at, you come with respect. You know, unless somebody disrespects you, then that's a different thing.
If you're in line at the supermarket and you and your friends are getting loud and there's an old couple behind you, shut up. You have some respect. Like, those are elders. Like, people don't, this generation doesn't respect elders.
Shit.
They don't respect elders. They don't do anything. But back to where you said these kids today, they paint their nails, they hold purses. Like, and I get it. My daughter's gay. She's married to another woman. Like, but I knew when my daughter was 5. I saw the signs when she was 5.
Yeah, my daughter too.
So, and if I would have saw the signs that say in my son, I would have handled it accordingly. Like, but you're still not going to paint your nails and hold a purse. Like, you want to have a husband? I got your back. That's cool. Like, I'll ride with you, but be a man. You're still a man.
Yeah, and that's again like how you said. It's like these women, they raise them, and they raise them to be soft too. You know, like going back to like not cussing and shit like that. Like, we used to get hit just for crying.
I'll give you something to cry about.
You know, like, for reals. You know, like we get hit and we can't cry.
Yeah,
because we're gonna get hit again.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? Like, don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's
What are you crying for?
That's the type of shit we were raised on. You know,
we were.
And that's how I raised my kids too, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love because if I whoop my kids, I'll go in the other room and cry because I feel bad.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understood that I can't whoop them and then break down in front of them.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna show them that, oh, this fool's weak anyways. Like,
yes.
you know, like we could do whatever we want because he's just gonna feel bad. You know?
Yes.
Like, no, like you have to put your foot down. Like, you know, you have to, like, no matter what. Even though if they're not my kids, like my nephews and my nieces, they know when Theo Pun, because that's what they call me, Pun. When Theo Pun enters a room, like, and they start crying, I'm like, hey, don't be doing that shit.
Yeah,
you know,
you're crying.
You know, like
you know, if you're genuinely crying because you're 5 and your dog just got hit by a car and died, that's different.
You know,
like, you're 5 years old, you don't understand, right? But if you're 5 and you didn't get a cookie and you're crying, I'm about to beat your ass.
Yeah, like,
but
yeah, exactly.
You didn't get a cookie? Like, no.
I used to tell my nephews and my nieces, like, you do anything you want in my house. I don't give a fuck. You could scream, yell, jump the wall. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you're just not gonna cry for nothing. You know, you better cry because you hurt yourself or something really happened.
Yes.
You know, and they understood that, like, all right, there's no crying at Theo Pun's house. You know?
Like, and we all, like, we all had our heart broken, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this meme on Instagram, And it said, in a Mexican house, nobody cares because your dad will walk by and be like, why are you crying? So what if he broke up with you? He was ugly anyways.
Right.
And I was like, that is so true. Like, nobody cared for us when we had our hearts broken. Everyone's like, well, he
Arlo
was this.
Bull did. Arlo Bull did. He did. He was there all the time when we got our heart broken every Sunday, you know?
Or if your man was away in the pen and he was sitting there like, what's your dedication? Like, and again, music goes back to our soul, our being of everything. Like,
Music's everything.
My son says all the time, my daughter tells me all the time, like, I take a shower, music's on full blast. Gonna clean the house, music. If they woke up on Saturday and the music's going, I'm cleaning. Oh, mom's in a mood. What happened? Mom's like,
I think that's any Latino's house. And shit, you know?
So they would pretend they were sleeping longer. Like, if we get up, she's gonna yell at us and we did something wrong,
right.
you know. But music is the heart and soul of our culture for sure. And it doesn't really matter. Everybody has different genres that they listen to. Like my mom listened to oldies, Evelyn Champagne, Donna Summer. She always had something on. And now as I'm older and I go back and I listen to it, I realize that it wasn't all one genre she was listening to. Because I'd be like, oh, well, I like this or I like this. They're like, well, who did you grow up? My mom's a musical person, so that's how we grew up musical. And then my dad went back to Mexico when they got divorced. And he must have took like a little case of 45s. Boy, he listened to oldies after oldies. He must have been going through it now that I think about it. So I love oldies because all summer in Mexico, that's what he played. So that's what I listened. And it was the same ones sitting on the bench. No, sitting in the park. All these oldies he just played over. And so when I hear him now, it's like nostalgic. I'm like,
yeah. Well, yeah. Music can either take you somewhere good or somewhere bad. You know?
Yeah.
That's what music's gonna, or just make you feel good just in general, you know?
Yeah.
Like, with my mom growing up, it was all Spanish music. With my dad, it was oldies, funk, you know, plus Spanish. You know, like when he played Santana, I already knew that fool was gonna fucking, you know, have a party or just, you know, just get drunk, smoke bud, you know, just have people over and shit, you know.
You already knew what his mood was by the music.
Yeah, the
he played?
oldies at the pad, because I grew up half with my mom and half with my dad.
So they weren't married. They weren't married.
They were married, and then but my dad was, you know, fucking having kids here and there and shit, you know, and so
she said, "I'm out."
Yeah, yeah. After my little sister, you know, there was 5 of us, and she just bounced. She like, well, I think before my little sister. Yeah.
So are your siblings all from the 5 siblings that you have are not all from your mom?
Yeah, the 5 of us, me, my brother Herbert, Richard, Arturo, and Angelica.
Okay.
They're from my mom and my dad.
Okay.
And then I have other siblings that my dad had with other women and shit.
And do you know how many of those are?
I think there's like.
He was a Rolling Stone.
There's like 10 or something like that. Like all together, 10, 12, some shit like that.
Do you talk to any of them or know them? Or?
My stepsisters and my stepbrother, yeah, because he's married to my stepmom.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But the other ones, no. Like we knew them at a point because he would take us over there and shit like that. And then we lost contact with them. And then it was funny because my sister lives right here in the north side, and there was a 99-cent store on Atlantic. And she went in there one time, and she called. She was like, hey, man, like, just ran into some fool. And he looked just like Richard, like my brother Richard, you know? She's like, and he works there, like, just like that fool. And we're like, you're tripping. So she went back the next day, and she asked that fool, what's your name? I think his name's Richard or Herbert, because she named them after my brothers. Yeah, she named them. So one of them was Herbert and one of them was Richard also, you know, so she named them two after my brothers.
And that was him then?
Yeah, so he was like, yeah, my name is Richard Castro. He's like, you're my brother. Like, you have a dad, his name's Herbert? He's like, yeah, like, that's my dad.
So did they talk?
Yeah, so then we got together, you know, again.
Yeah.
But it was just weird. They were always asking for like money and shit like that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, asking my dad for money and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know, like
I don't share. So I have 4 brothers, and I share my brothers. But I have one sister. We did a whole episode. I don't share my sister. This is my sister. So if somebody popped up and said, "Hey, we're your family," nah, we're too old for that. Yeah. I'm 50. I don't want a new sibling.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, if you want to get to know me, that's fine. You know, but don't be asking me for shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. You know, I'm not here for all of that. You know? I'm not gonna ask you. Hey, let me borrow some money or something. You know, like, fuck out of here. You know, like.
So your dad was a Rolling Stone and had a fun life, I could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were not too far behind.
Yeah,
That.
yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 8.
One kid is your kid because you raised him, and he's part of the 8, right?
Yeah, I have 7 that are like my blood.
Yeah.
But 8, my stepson, because I raised him since he was 1.
And I love that you just include him in like he's just part of yours. There's no
Yeah,
ifs, ands, and he's gonna make you a grandpa soon, right?
Yeah, he's having a daughter.
Oh,
He's having a daughter.
do you have any grandkids yet?
Yeah, I have 4. So I'm gonna have 2 grandkids, and my son Gabriel. Well, they're both named Gabriel.
Oh,
Yeah, my son Gabriel and her son and my ex-wife, her son, his name's Gabriel too. So so we both have Gabriels.
so what do you call them?
Big Gabriel and Little Gabriel. But Big Gabriel is about like this big, and Big Gabriel's about, and Little Gabriel's about like this big. Yeah, you know
but Big Gabriel's the oldest.
Yeah, he's my son.
So he's called Big Gabriel because
Yeah.
he's the oldest,
Yeah.
and Little Gabriel.
And then we have baby
youngest.
Carlos, and that fool's bigger than all of them. And shit.
Oh. So you're okay. How old is your youngest kid?
She is 13 going on 14.
And how old is your oldest grandchild?
He's just went into high school, so what does that make him? 14?
So your grandchild?
Yeah.
So your grandchild and your child,
They're about the same age.
typical Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like so it would be your daughter, right?
Uh-huh.
Which is the aunt, is the same age as her nephew. It would be her
No. Okay, so the oldest
Yeah.
that's my grandson. He's 14. Yeah, because he's going into high school.
Yes. That's your
And
grandchild.
yeah, that's my grandson. His name is oh my god.
Because I got you.
We're gonna have to cut this part out.
Oh, shit,
so
he's
wait,
gonna kill me
something.
with
Yeah,
this
he is.
shit.
He is.
You know what I'm
So your
saying?
grandson's 14, but your daughter is 13.
Yeah.
So your grandson is older than your youngest daughter.
Yes.
That is a typical Mexican.
Yeah.
So when you're,
So the big sister's 30, whatever.
Yeah.
Ashley, and then Irie, she's 13. Yeah.
but you don't remember your grandson's name at 14? Oh, poor Papa. Poor.
I know he's not named after his dad. Raymond, is he? No.
he's all,
Joe. That's his name. Joe.
Oh,
Joe.
nice.
Joe. Shout out, Joe. I love you, kiddo. You know I do. I always go to your football games and shit. I always pay for your shit too when it comes to football. I love you.
Joe knows it's when you come on here. Sometimes you get tongue tied, you get a little nervous.
Yeah.
Like I'm just that way all the. Like I couldn't even remember the tattoo my son had. So
Because it's Joe, is Nate. He's my daughter's stepson, but she raising him, so I call him.
And
my
Latinos
grandson.
do that. They if you're we take you on, we take you on.
So Nate, he's my grandson too, and then Renzo. So those are my three grand boys from my daughter.
Okay.
And then my son Gabriel, he has a boy named Little Gabriel,
Okay.
and they're about to have a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Little Gabriel, he's about to have a baby.
See, I should have had like 5 kids. I probably have a grandbaby by now.
Probably.
My 2 kids ain't giving me none. So
I don't, man, grandbabies are just as expensive as fucking your own kids. And shit.
when my daughter married her wife, she had 2 kids already. So those are made my instant grandbabies, but they're older. So I didn't have no babies, you know. But oh yeah, they cost me. The little girl, she's 12. We have Disney passes and we go to. She has to get a new, different candy apple every time we come. And I'm like, girl, the candy apple
You have
is
a
the
Disney
same.
pass?
Yeah.
Can I
love-
borrow it?
Yeah, you look just like me.
I'll put a wig on.
Priscilla can borrow it. She
Put a
looks
wig
like me. But she wants a new candy apple.
That's
For like
good,
15,
though.
$20. And I'm like,
Your
but it's a
grandma-
candy apple. It
your
tastes the
grandma-
same.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it looks different. So every time we go and then we get a corn, like I'm like, oh, my daughter's like, we don't do this when you come. When you don't come. When you don't come, we don't, all these extras, that's because you're here. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to cut the extra.
Oh, because grandma's.
Yes. And so she goes, we walk in, we'll eat, we'll go on a few rides and we go home. You come, you got to get a corn, a candy apple, got to get a drink.
That's why I'm not taking none of my grandkids to Disneyland. Fuck that shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they gouge you. I mean, a churro's like almost $10, I think. The
Really?
one, I mean, but they're
Well, you know
bomb.
what? I got five tickets to Disneyland that I won.
You need to take them, but you better have a.
I'm not taking them little motherfuckers.
Who are you taking?
I don't know. I'm not taking them. I'm not taking no little kids with me to Disneyland. They're expensive.
They're very my.
If I want a candy apple, because I want a candy apple. You know what I'm saying? If I want a churro, because I want a churro.
Well,
But-
we went to Disneyland 2 summers ago. My son, so he must have been 22, 23 at the time. Mom, remember all those times you told me if I was good at Disneyland at the end of the night, you'd buy me a toy, but I was asleep and you never bought me a toy? And I was like, yeah. He goes, well, you're buying me that toy now.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna just let a little secret out. You know, you can say what you want. I don't give a fuck what Disneyland says or anybody says. So, and Priscilla's gonna kill me and shit because I had her daughter do it too. You know? So this is what we used to do. When I used to go to Disneyland, like, you know, as a teenager or Magic Mountain, Knott's Farm. So what you do is when you want something, you wait till the end of the night and you go into the stores where everything's packed and you just grab what you want, kids, and just walk out.
I thought you were going to say wait till the end of the night and they forgot.
And walk out. So busy. And walk the fuck out. And they ain't going to say nothing. They ain't going to pay attention to you.
Well, now they do, though.
No, let me tell you something. We were just at Universal Studios. Let me tell you something.
They're going to follow you now.
Let me tell you something. We were at Universal Studios, and this already happened twice. We went to Universal Studios last year. And this past time, we went on Christmas, and Priscilla's daughter wanted something, you know, from the Hello Kitty store. And we already did it once. So she's like, can I do it, Carlos? And I was like, as long as the store's packed, you do what the fuck you want. You know? So she went, grabbed the shit, a big ass plush Hello Kitty, you know? She walks out and then she's like, come with me. And so I walk with her out, you know? And we walk in and she goes, hold this. And I was like, so I grab it and she walking back to the store. She comes out with a big ass box again.
What would you have done if they stopped you?
I would have just told her, I don't know this kid. Where's her parents?
Well, you know the girl at Disneyland.
What are they going to do? Make you put it back? We were already leaving. What are they going to say? Get out of here?
Well, the girl at Disneyland got banned for life because she put her kid in and I feel bad for her. She put her kid in a stroller and pretended her kid was like under 3, maybe.
I've done that too.
I've done that with my kids. Oh, for sure.
My kids were dragging their feet on the stroller. And I swear to God.
Well, now they have like the face recognition. So they already caught on to her. So they're waiting for her to come back. So when she came back, they said.
That sucks.
They arrested her right there in front of her kids.
So that's what it was for.
Yes.
Oh, see, I didn't know what it was for. I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was over there telling. So now she's like banned for life.
So you tell your grandkid and shit, just grab what you want and walk out, man.
Oh, I would be too nervous.
My brother used to do, man, they'd be in strollers and fucking the kids would load the strollers up and fucking just walk out with that shit.
Well, and they probably, financially, Disneyland makes so much damn money, and I don't feel bad.
They're not even going to miss it.
You overcharge us for everything.
Come on now.
It's ridiculous.
Ticket now is like, I tried to get a ticket. I forgot for what day it was. They wanted $200.
Oh, yeah.
For one ticket, for one person. Like
for one person, for one park. Because I think it's over $200 if you do 2 parks. Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, so I don't feel bad for taking shit at the end of the night.
Yeah. Oh, well, that summer with my son, which was like 2 summers ago, he wanted this.
You fuck around, catch me on Instagram.
He got a big old Darth Vader, $200 later. He goes, all those toys you didn't buy me when I was little, you're paying for. I was like, oh.
You should just don't walk out with walk out with the kid. Don't worry about it. Just don't. They're not even gonna look. Because they're too busy. They're so
super busy.
And when all those people are in there, they're not looking.
Priscilla is not going back with you to Disneyland.
Oh, we're going to Disneyland. We're going to Disneyland. I tell you, I won a family 5-pack from K-Day. So we're going to Disneyland.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Wait, is K-Day still on?
Yeah, 93.5 K-Day. Download.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So when I go to work sometimes and I have my station set, I cannot listen to 102.7. I can't listen to 105.9. No, you don't listen to Ryan's? No, I don't listen to Ryan's Roses. I mean, I don't listen to Ryan because I used to listen to Ryan's Roses.
I was about to say, so you do listen to Ryan's Roses.
But I heard one morning.
I listened to that shit on. Hey, there was one in.
Sad.
I heard one in Pedro and one in Carson.
Okay, but one of them was sad, and I thought,
you know what? If you're that dumb to fucking send roses to somebody else besides your fucking wife, you deserve to get caught. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't look at it that way. But the guy was like, it was the guy having his wife do something, and his wife was having the affair, and he was so distraught and upset. He was crying. See, he shouldn't have been crying.
You should not have. Curiosity kills a cat. You should have never.
You know if someone's cheating.
Yeah,
you don't. You know, you see the signs.
Come on,
you know at some
when your significant other don't want to have sex with you and is ignoring you and looking good going somewhere else and not with you.
Damn, did that happen to you? Because you just said all the signs.
Because that's what it is.
So is that what you did or is that what she did?
No, that's what I did.
That's why you got 8 kids.
Yeah, that's why I got 8 kids, man. Yeah.
All right, Carlos, we're coming. I feel like I have to have you back on.
Anytime.
Priscilla's like, nope, never again. Anytime. So you're having the softball tournament.
Yes, March.
What is your main purpose that you like to do in Long Beach to help your community?
Just to bring the hood together, man. Like, especially with the toy drive. We have a toy drive every year.
Mhm.
It runs. I do it twice. So the first time we collect the toys, and I have a show. Like I invite artists to come out, perform. You know, the whole low riders, everybody comes out. You know, and the second one is when we give them away.
We did that in San Pedro at the Boys and Girls
Yeah.
Club through our union. We did something like that too.
So that I just wanna. I always say like we help destroy the community. Like why not build it back up? You know.
That's a good way of looking at it. It's a really good way of looking.
You know, because I remember being those kids, not having nothing. You know what I'm saying? So even with the softball game, like if I could just bring everybody to come together, also like just to show the city, like we're not just out there killing each other and fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like we could come together and have a good time, and you know, because when they see the lowriders and they see people that look like us, that represent us, you know, they get scared and they don't know, you know, what to think. They think it's all bad.
Yeah.
You know, when in the real, and you know, to keep it real is like it's not always all bad.
Yeah, there's a guy from Carson, Dave. He does kind of the same thing that you do. But he didn't say it the way you said it, and I liked it. We destroyed the city. Let's build it back. But he's like that from Carson. He does the same thing.
Yeah,
and I think that's awesome.
I say, like the first softball game, I was like, we all we got. You know what I'm saying? So if we can't support each other and help each other out, then nobody else is.
Yeah.
You know? So,
and we really do. Like people don't realize that if we stuck together as a whole, meaning us brown people, like there would be no stopping
just as individuals, you know, and just to be together, like as a city, you know what I'm saying, and not like just rebuild the shit. You know, school these youngsters. You know what I'm saying? Show them that there's better shit than fucking social media and putting your business out there. You know,
social media has destroyed so much. I feel like it's destroyed marriages. It's destroyed the younger generation. If adults can't handle social media, how do you expect a 13-year-old to? Yeah. That's really
everybody
hard.
wants to be famous.
And the thing is, it's not that necessary that you're even famous when you're on. Like, look at the girl who she became famous real quick on social media. The one that yelled at the valet. Did you see that video?
Oh yeah.
Like you became famous. Yeah, you became famous.
And she destroyed herself.
And I think her husband's a music producer or something
Scott
like
Storch
that.
is,
Yeah, you destroyed. And then her apology was hilarious.
But you see the other videos about her, right? Like I guess she was like, there's other videos of her like talking shit. I guess to like her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend. I guess somebody posted all those.
Yeah.
Man. She's just crazy, like real disrespectful, really potty mouth.
She just has no. You said you've been cussing this whole time, and now you want to say potty mouth. She has no morals. That's how. Yeah. You have no soul. Like you're just.
Nobody
just
raised her right.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah. She was on there, and I was like,
how the fuck you go out of the house wearing some shit like that?
Because she didn't have a dad, or she. But this is another thing. Dads today let their daughters go out of the house in these little crop tops. They let their daughters go to the beach in a thong bikini.
Oh man, I have a heart attack.
But it's the way it is today. Just because that's how it is doesn't make it okay. Yeah. These parents don't want to parent because they see it on social media and this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
These parents don't want to parent, and they don't want the other parent to help parent.
No, and they don't want to be the parent that stands up and says this isn't right. My kid's not doing it, because then they're not part of the cool group, you know. But I'm like, but now you're letting your 12-year-old look like she's basically a little whore, trying to look like she's 15. So when a 16-year-old boy comes and talks to her,
not only that, when a fucking grown man comes and talks to her or violates her, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Who's really at fault at that? You know, it's not the little girls. Yeah, she put that clothes on, but you as your parent, let that shit go. You know,
if you went to a pool party and you showed up and your 13-year-old daughter is in a thong bathing suit and her ass cheeks are hanging out, are you gonna just say, "Oh, well, that's just how bathing suits are made"?
She fucking get slapped right in the face, you know,
but parents,
straight up in front of everybody.
And that's what social media has done. It's so this girl who did that thing to the valet, like you said, she just wasn't raised right. With her fake hair extensions. I was like...
Fake everything.
I was like, you call us wetbacks, but we got better hair than you. And we didn't have to buy it.
She's everything. Everything was fake. You know what I'm saying? So.
Thank you, Carlos. You got to come back on, though. We could sit here all day long.
I could.
And then you have Instagram. Do you have TikTok?
No, I deleted it off my phone and shit, so I can't get it back.
So you can't get it back?
No.
Not yet.
Not at the app stores no more.
What?
Where
So-
you been, girl?
So because I have it, but I
Hey,
didn't delete it. I
Don't
didn't.
delete it. Don't delete it.
I just figured they would delete it for me if it got banned.
Don't delete it.
And so now you can't get it back.
You can't get it back.
Oh, we were grandfathered in. You should-
But you know what? I'm glad I deleted it. Because I would spend looking at stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. I'm glad that's one less dumb shit I gotta look at. And post on. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
So we both have Instagram.
Yeah.
I got to go find you on Urban Soul so I can post that. Please, if you watch this, please subscribe on YouTube. We're like, I think 30 people short of 1,000 subscribers.
Go subscribe, man. Don't be dicks.
Yeah.
You know, go subscribe. Trust me.
Well, if you watch it, just push the subscribe button.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Subscribe, comment, like,
Yeah,
you know,
something.
send something, a shirt, some money. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Shit.
I'll never turn down money.
We need some motherfucking what you
Disney
need?
passes.
Disney passes. Shit, you know? God damn.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Carl.
you. And real
Thanks,
quick,
Sullivan. Yes.
can I just shout out Hadar Extract? They're my sponsors. They're my bud guys and shit. So if you need any bud, hit up Hadar or hit me up.
Is that why you smelled all good coming in?
Oh, that's why I always smell like that.
My daughter's gonna, as soon as she watches, my daughter's gonna be like, hook it up, mom. Hook it up.
Yeah. Oh, your daughter. See, if I knew, that's why I asked Priscilla if you smoked and shit, I would have gave you some bud. I would have bought you some.
I do. It helps with my, it slows my mind down.
Okay. Well, now I know. Next
Yeah.
time I see you, I know I'm gonna run.
Well,
into
you'll
you.
be back.
Yeah, well, I'll
All
be back. I'll bring Hadar with me.
Okay. All right.
I'll bring everybody with me and shit, so we could, you know, go downstairs and smoke. Unless you want to just hotbox it in here.
No, Solomon won't let us.
Oh, okay. Well, you can follow me, Long Beach _Carlos on Instagram.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
Until
you. I
next
appreciate
time.
you.
Thank you, Carlos.
It's a Harbarian thing.
Yes, it is. All right, bye.